Oh man, where am I? How did I get here? Where? Is that a Georgia Bulldog? What's UGA? Is that Hulk Hogan? Is that Ron Simmons and Cody Rhodes? I must be in Georgia. What's going on, everybody? What's going on YouTube? All you beautiful people out there. I talk a lot with my hands. Like, what's this? Like, what's going on? Anyway, ElPhoenix here from ElPhoenixRising to represent day 27. Hashtag day 27 of the 100-day challenge. This is an awesome opportunity for YouTubers from all over the country, from all over the world, to share what they think of and share about their culture, whether they're from a different country, a different state, city, town. Just amazing move of connecting with one another and learning about different cultures. So let's talk about Georgia. Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and when I was like 4, we moved to Georgia and South Georgia. So I got that whole cool, awesome experience of southern living. Yeah. What is the weather like where I am? The weather right now is hot. It's very hot because summers in Georgia are really hot. Well, not all the time. It depends. You know, no, it doesn't depend. It's hot. It's hot. It's 90 degrees and it feels like 90 degrees. And make sure you're wearing shorts or something that the air can breathe through because it gets very hot. It does. See, it's hot and humid. Sometimes there's rain during the summer. Usually it's a good mix. So it's on and off. Showers at night, then hot, then showers during the day while it's hot. So it's just kind of like, what? Sometimes the rain doesn't help. And it's just like, hot, boil. So I don't know. But right now it's hot. It's very hot. But you get used to it. Let's see. My favorite local dish is a low country boil. You know, big freaking huge pot, and you just have all kinds of seafoods. You have crab legs, shrimp. Some people put clams and mussels in there. You have baked potatoes, like diced up baked potato or whole baked potato, corn on the cob, sausage, seasonings, any other meat or anything you might want to add. And it's just this big pot of, you boil it, of course, that's why it's called a low country boil. You boil it all up and it makes this amazing just buffet of supreme delicious awesomeness. And if I could have one every day I would, but I can't because they can be very expensive when you're making a big pot of it for a lot of people, and the pots themselves are like in the double digits, maybe some in triple digits, depending on how big a pot you get. So it's not exactly something you can just do all the time, but when they do it, it's a big event. It's either like a big family get together or something like that. So that's my favorite dish. It's a low country boil. Love it. Name 3 things people do for fun in my area. Well, right now I'm in the metro Atlanta area of Georgia. So like I said, there's 3 different parts. I mean, there's multiple parts, so it all depends on where you are. If we're talking about my part, in Atlanta, there is so much to do. You can either go hiking, not too far from the mountains, maybe an hour or so from the mountains, so you might go hiking. You might experience some of the nightlife here. We have a lot of, if bars and clubs or night scene or just hanging out, it doesn't have to be at a bar, is your type of deal, then that's what you can do. And let's see, something else, that a lot of things we do is sports. Georgia's very sports oriented, so regardless if you're there or not, the Georgia Bulldogs, the Falcons, the Braves, who else? Gosh, I can't even remember all the teams, you know, the Hawks. Not everybody's a fan of them, but everybody, a lot of people in Georgia are very big on sports, especially UGA or Georgia Tech or Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Mercer. It all depends on who and where you cheer for. So yeah, sports, outdoors activities, a lot, especially fishing. Oh gosh, there's a lot of fishing. No matter where you are in Georgia, there's fishing. The thing about having fun in Georgia is that there's so many different pieces of Georgia. So you have coastal Georgia, then you have southern Georgia, then you have North Georgia where the mountains and cities and stuff like that further north. there's so much happening in Georgia. Like, you could, if you're in coastal Georgia, you're probably gonna go do some fishing or go to the beach, shopping, stuff like that. Southern Georgia, a lot of fishing, hunting, outdoorsy type stuff. Also, there's still shopping and stuff. There's shopping everywhere, of course, but so, and North Georgia, you might go to the mountains, you might get a log cabin on the lake somewhere, you know, Lake Lanier, or, you know, Metro Atlanta and everything, nightlife, shopping, having fun stuff. Well, all of it's fun. It's not really having fun, but like shopping, nightlife. If you're into bars and pubs, there's food everywhere. If you're a foodie, landmarks, going to see where the Walking Dead is, the Coca-Cola factory, High Museum of Arts, civil rights, music, like all kind of, Martin Luther King Center, Jimmy Carter Library, all kind of things to do everywhere. You just gotta drive. What are families like where you're from? What are families like where you're from? Families are very mixed here. It's a lot of, you have the full family, say father, mother, kids, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, blah, 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 you know, statistics. Then you do have single parent homes, low income, high income. It all varies. It's a big, Atlanta, Georgia itself is a big melting pot still too, kind of. So definitely there's a lot of, just a lot of people out there and a lot of different types of family dynamics. So it's depending, it's not even depending on where you go, it's no matter where you are, it always varies. So outside of that, regardless of what type of family it is, if they have all the parents or single parents, no parents, grandparents, depending on how it is, there's still a sense of community. A lot of places still try to have a sense of community, and some, not all of them, try to, you know, teach your kids what's right, you know, do right. Just do it! Okay. Name a common misconception about your state. Everybody in Georgia does not look like orange. And we all don't talk like this. We're all not just inbred or something like that. That's not, like, we don't all talk like that. We really don't. You say Georgia and they're like, oh wow, I couldn't hear your accent, or you don't sound like you're from Georgia, you don't look like you're from Georgia. Really? So, we don't all look, stop it. We really don't all look or sound like. What is something no one knows about your state? Something no one knows. Let's see, there's, what do people know about Georgia? It seems big enough. There's more to Georgia than Atlanta. In Atlanta, The Walking Dead is filmed in Atlanta, if you didn't know that. I mean, that might be something. There's an interesting little tidbit. In Atlanta, there is a statue in Woodruff Park that's called Phoenix from the Ashes, if I'm correct. And I know Phoenix from ElPhoenixRising, so. But it represents Sherman's March to the Sea when they did burn down Atlanta and everything. Atlanta was burned and everything, you know, all that happened. But they still were able to rise out of the ashes, literally rose out of the ashes, and became a very prosperous city, one of the biggest and most important cities in Atlanta, in the United States today. And like proof in the pudding, Hartsfield-Jackson Airport was like a small little airport, like practice field or something like that, and it turned into this huge international airport. Something else people might not know about Georgia is we have quite a few professional wrestlers that were born in Georgia. The Hulkster, born in Augusta, Georgia. Ron Simmons was born and is from Atlanta, Georgia. Xavier Woods, Cody Rhodes, the list goes on and on. There are quite a few impressive WWE superstars that have, well, professional wrestlers, period, that have come from Georgia. Who knew? What is an actual stereotype of your country? An actual stereotype of country, state. An actual stereotype of this state of Georgia. Hospitality. We are some of the most hospitable people that I've met A lot of it depends on how you interact with people, because if you come with a bad attitude, someone may still try to be nice to you, but they really not gonna be feeling it, and they probably will either say, you know, that's not nice, I'm not fond of that, or put you off altogether, or still try to be nice. A big thing here is you will hear someone say, bless your heart. If someone says bless your heart, don't say thank you. That's our nice way of saying, oh wow. Well dang. You're like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. Bless your heart. You know, pretty much, it's like the ultimate insult. Any insult you can think of, if you just say bless your heart in place of it, that's pretty much what it means. Just bless your heart. What is your state famous for? Our state is famous for peaches, one, because it's the Georgia peach. Also, Vidalia onions. Vidalia onions go all around the world. I had the pleasure of growing up in the area where Vidalia onions are made, grown. So it's a booming population. Just to see almost 10 miles worth of onions, just as far as I can see, just onions on both sides of the road. And it looks like it never ends, just waves of onions. And they have a factory there. They make their own sauces. There's a big festival that happens. They send them all over the country, the world. People that I didn't even think knew about Vidalia onions, when they find out I've been near that area before, they're like, oh wow, you grew up near there. What about this? What about that? You know? So Vidalia onions are a big deal. Very big deal. What is one thing I would change about my state if I could? I would change, like, we're doing a couple good things, but there's not a lot of good legislation or anything for like mental health and like counselors and stuff like that. And as you can see with a lot of news and things that are happening, a lot of people need help, and there's support, but we need more support for those people. Education is great here depending on school system, so I would definitely work on changing education, because like Whitney said, children really are the future. Like, one day I want to have kids and I want them to have the best education possible, and hopefully I'm still in Georgia, and I'm still going to expect that Georgia will be holding up a higher standard of education, because we can really improve our education. So I expect great things from Georgia as far as education. That's something I would definitely change, is education. What is the thing I love most about Georgia? The thing I love most about Georgia is the fact that you can do anything in Georgia. If I want to just lay around and go fishing all day, I can find a million spots to go fishing. If I want to go to the beach, I can go to coastal Georgia, Savannah and everything. If a lot of Atlanta, Georgia, Savannah, just Georgia period, a lot of haunted history, so I'd go on a haunted ghost tour if I wanted to, if I feel like being spooky. Gosh, there's so much to do. There's hospitality. I just like the fact that there's a lot to do depending on what you want to do. And when you get to, like, see, there's more opportunity and stuff. So I really enjoy the variety of things, even though a lot of it's a pretty good car drive away. Once you get there, it's worth it. The beaches, the mountains, the city life, just going down South Georgia and just relaxing in the field, just away from everything, you know, and just having peace. Yeah, so I just love that there's a lot to do in Georgia. Georgia's multifaceted. It's not just what some people think. Howdy, y'all! It's not just all that. There's more to more to Georgia than that. Yeah. What is something I like about the next person's state? Our next person for day 28 will be Tempo Slice, and he's from Tampa, Florida. And one of the things I like about Tampa is I had the chance to go because I had a great uncle that lived there for a while. I like the beaches. That's one of my big things about Florida period, are the beaches. And it's just, you get to relax, you know. So yeah, that's probably my favorite thing about Florida, especially Tampa, are the beaches. And it's just the atmosphere, the palm tree, you know. Yes, it's the beaches. Long story short, the beaches. I really, really like the beach. Yes, so guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share with all your friends. I hope I taught you something about Georgia that you didn't know or made you more curious about Georgia. And remember, tomorrow we'll have Timbo Slice on day 28. Let me see, 20. See, I can't. 28. I think. Yes, I hope I did that right. If not, don't laugh at me, please. Anyway. I can't wait to see what he talks about in Florida. I really do like Florida. I plan to make an opportunity to go back very soon. So maybe I'll run into Timbo down there. We never know, you know? It's a small world after all. So guys, thank you so much. Comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends. There's going to be, in the description, there's going to be a link to catch up on all the previous days from the beginning to now. There's going to be the playlist. There's going to be the link to make sure you subscribe. And you know what, matter of fact, right here, if I can hit it, I don't know if my hands are going to be around it perfect. I'm going to try to make it. Subscribe to Timbo Slice so you can keep up with the next day. You know what's going to be going on. Remember to share this with all your friends and tell me, what do you like about Georgia? Don't forget, you can participate. Hashtag 100-day challenge. Hashtag day 27. Hashtag Georgia. Hashtag it up, okay? We want to make sure that we see what's your Georgia like. What do you like about Georgia? And your thoughts on Georgia. And don't forget to drop a subscribe if you enjoy what's going on this channel. Share it with your friends and everyone. You all have a super awesome day, and I hope I educated you some on Georgia.